We're going to look at managing risk and rates at the moment, and we're going to go into some helpful tips on how to minimize your costs. First and foremost, compare, compare, and compare. Your first step to getting the best deal is to compare providers, local banks, ISOs, and MSPs. You want to get the best pricing structures, you want to get the best deals, you want to get competitive rates and services. The interest rates on merchant accounts are a little complicated at times, so it's important to make sure you have a good understanding of what they are before you sign any agreements. Make sure that your refund policies, return policies, terms of service, and any additional policies and procedures are easy to read, easy to understand, and clearly visible. These policies are absolutely key in keeping your merchant account in good order and plays a big part in resolving customer disputes, chargebacks quickly and effectively. Processors also look at this for the relationship. They'd like to see when these things are in order because they can actually lower the risk on the account. Get a breakdown of all fees, including recurring fees, such as monthly fees, statement fees, etc., and get to know those fees as well. To get a merchant account these days, you may have to sign a contract. Some can lock you in for 1, 3, or 5 years unless you pay early termination fees. Those fees can range from $100 to thousands of dollars, depending upon if it has a multiplier. Beware of that and do not sign any agreements unless you have everything explained to your satisfaction and in writing. In this particular situation, we're going to look at lowering rates for lowering risk. As we discussed earlier, processors will look at an account based on certain parameters. The type of industry you're in, what you sell, how you sell it, and to whom, obviously e-commerce, moto, retail. Additionally, they're going to look at your security, PCI, payment card industry security. Are you PCI compliant? If you manage your risk, you'll manage your rates. The most important thing to know is that the greater the potential for fraud or risk, the higher the processing rate you're going to be charged. So the more complete the information per transaction and the more assurance that you're transacting with the actual card holder, the less risk and the lower the rates. Some of your employees may not realize that when the card doesn't swipe the first time and they just key in a transaction, that becomes a much more expensive transaction for you. Or if they don't worry about getting a phone number or an email address or bill to ship to, or a CVV2, which is security code. Every one of these missing pieces increase the cost of your transaction. Get into a little bit of security and transaction tools. I can't stress enough that you should always use AVS and CVV2 and the security code on the back of the card. They cost pennies on the dollar and can save you hundreds or thousands of dollars. Additionally, they help fight fraud and chargeback issues. Address verification system, AVS, works for transaction types of all kinds, from e-commerce to swipe to key entered. It checks to make sure that the address on file with the card company matches the information being provided at the time the transaction takes place. It's a live match. There are different levels of AVS, from verifying the zip code to verifying the entire address is accurate. Depending upon your business, you may decide to take one level over another. There is usually, again, a nominal cost for the service, cents per transaction, but they can save you big dollars in problems in case of fraudulent activity and chargebacks. The very famous "I didn't do it" and many more of those types. This measure should be asked for if it is not introduced to you by your provider. Again, it's a must-have. Now, card verification code, or CVV2, this is a code which is tied directly to the card to help ensure that these transactions done non-face-to-face, that the person making the purchase has the card in their hand. Thank you very much.